Hello and welcome back to Risk in Focus. We'll just dive right in. So David, are there general stages of risk management plan?
Brenda, we have talked about what is a crisis. We've talked about what is a crisis management and plan. We have even talked how do you assemble a crisis management team, owing to the fact that it is needed almost immediately. Yes. The question you're asking me is that whether there is a general stages to which we may follow when you're dealing with or we are doing a risk management plan. Yes, it's there because there are ways in which you can be able to follow, even though it is not verbatim. It is not that 100% followed that way, but it will give a guidance so that that kind of a management plan is effective. For example, when you're doing a risk management plan, it is in the future. We are saying that something can happen. We need to identify what is these potential threats that can happen to bring a crisis. So we need to identify them and say that we are dealing with a petrol station, we can experience fire. We are dealing with a supermarket, we can experience some breakages, or some people have come and there is looting and everything. We need to identify those potential threats that can bring the crisis. And after identifying them, we need to develop strategies. How are we going to have action plans to be able to respond and deal with this crisis? For example, communication protocols, the key personnel that are going to be involved there, the roles and the responsibilities that they are going to play. All those now will be developing response strategies. And once we have developed these strategies, we need to how do we respond to this crisis? And these are the predetermined way in which we can be able to, for example, bring this crisis to a manageable level. And even if we have bring it to a manageable level, how do we then recover from it and maybe move back to the normal operations? So you find that the stages that we might follow will be identifying the potential threats. We need to develop the response strategies. We need to respond actually to a crisis if it happens, and we also need to recover from it. But you'll find there are key things that you'll find in that crisis management plan. For example, communication. We are insisting that communication strategies must be there. Who is communicating to who? Are we communicating to internal stakeholders? Are we communicating to the external stakeholders? Are we communicating to authorities? All communication strategies and plan in crisis management are very critical. Remember, there's no time to think. They need just to be like when you have something in a box, you just need to remove it and use it. The other one will be leadership. We need leaders who can be able to embrace a crisis. You find in an organization, there is a crisis, and the leaders are the ones going into the hiding, leaving the poor employees to deal with the crisis. It cannot work that way. Leadership is very important in terms of crisis. They need to know who is going to talk to the media. Maybe, for example, the board might appoint the chairman, for example, and wherever he is, whether through physical, whether through virtual, he's able to address and tell people that we are bringing the situation to calm. And this kind of people they should not panic. They are not people now, if there's a crisis, they are the one panicking more than even the employees. Yes, they are fearing, but they must be bold enough to show leadership. Also, we need to have some ways in which we have continuity of the business. For example, if it is our computers that have been hacked, do we have alternatives maybe in the banking industry that deposits and cash withdrawals will still continue? That is about business continuity. And we also stakeholder well-being. Many people forget about that. If it is a supermarket that has gone into a crisis, there must be ways to assure their stakeholders, the customers.
Yes.
They can even know some of these customers are very loyal to us. They take a phone and call them and tell them that the situation is being contained. You know, the stakeholders need to be assured that things are being put in order. So that is a general way in which a crisis management plan can be developed. Identify the potential threats, develop response strategies, respond to a crisis, recover from it, and you'll be good to go.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mm.
For more of this content, like, subscribe, and comment. See you on the next one.